Hi everyone, and welcome to this GraceNote. Today I want to talk about consistency and becoming more engaged with your life, your business, your marketing perhaps, or your career, whatever direction or field you're in. If you're a human being, you probably have noticed over time that consistency is something that you might struggle with, or you might find yourself on and off depending on your mood, depending on the time of year, depending on where you're at. So I've been seeing a little bit more deeply around this whole area because clients that come to me often have that question, how do I become more consistent with what I'm doing? And here's what I see about it. These grace notes are just my notes, my sharing on what I see. And what I see is that consistency is not something that you kind of make yourself do or, sort of reward yourself by, getting into. Consistency is a very natural thing that happens when we are in a quiet state of mind, a good state of mind, a clear state of mind. We naturally get more engaged with life and business when we're not battling a mental hurricane up above. And so any level of strong engagement, consistent engagement is very much dependent on your state of mind, on the level of well-being you're living in. And that's why I'm often speaking to my clients about going for well-being instead of going for more education on, how to do things. Because our impact on anyone, be it a partner, a friend, a client, a colleague, comes from our level of well-being. People feel it immediately where you're at. If you're walking down a street, you can tell with people coming towards you what state of mind they're in, how present they are, how lost they are, how distracted they are. So our peace of mind and our well-being are really the two elements that I see as driving anything we do, as helping us be effective, consistent, in high performance. And for those of you that think that that's a little bit simple, or it can't be that easy, or there has to be something else to it, really that is where consistency comes from. That is where deep engagement and impact comes from. As we settle down internally, as our state of mind improves, as our thinking quietens down, we just get more engaged with life. We just get fresh ideas. We just find ourselves acting on it, which is why there's no kind of method to becoming consistent. There's no kind of need for you to beat yourself up when you're not, Simply know that as you settle down, as you return to your highest level of well-being, which is always there, beyond the chaos of the thoughts and the mind, as you come back to center, you will find yourself becoming more engaged with whatever's in front of you, becoming more consistent with whatever you've got. And for me, this was such a big breakthrough because, formerly I had this idea that, you were either on and in your business and in your life and in action or off. totally on the sofa, you know, not doing anything and kind of lost. So there was a dynamic of being on or off. And that used to really get to me, because for those of you that are working for yourselves or starting your own business, you know, if you're not in it, it's, you know, nothing's really happening. you know, you kind of, you got to be there, you got to be in it, or so they say. But I began to see that, you know, as I was lost in thought, my experience of my business became a bit scary to me. And I would sort of retreat away from it and find myself in off mode. As I came to understand the principles behind life, as I came to see that we're living in the experience of our thinking, my thoughts looked a lot less scary to me. My thoughts held a lot less grip on me. And as a result of that, instead of retreating and being off, I kind of just find myself getting on with things despite my thinking, being engaged despite any insecurities or fears that were running through my mind. Now, that's not to say I don't spend time being off or retreating or recalibrating, but it's a lot less of a pendulum swing on and off that I've noticed over time. And that has had a huge impact on my business, and I see that in other clients that I work with, that when you're not living in that on-off pendulum, you just do better. Your experience of working for yourself, it gets easier. Now, those of you in a job, you know, you kind of, well, I know when I was in a job as a school teacher, you know, it didn't really matter what my state of mind was, because I was going to get my paycheck anyway. I had to go to work, but I could be there and be on or off. And it didn't really matter. Now, when I was on, it usually was a better and nicer, more fulfilled experience, and time went quicker than when I showed up and I was off. But it made absolutely no difference to whether or not I was going to get my paycheck. So that's the luxury of being in a job, right? But when you're out on your own, that on-off pendulum, you know, has the potential to bring your income down, has the potential to bring you to a halt. And so what I have found to be really helpful is to recognize your state of mind, is to not give too much attention to your scary thinking, is to be off and to retreat when you need to, but using that time to refuel and get fresh insight and fresh ideas to come back into your business engaged and consistent more of the time. Ironically, as you start to see where your experience is coming from, your mind starts to settle down. And as a result of that, the pendulum stops swinging so much, and you find you need a lot less time off, and you find you're a lot more engaged, more consistent, more of the time. So I hope this has been helpful. I'd love to hear what you're taking away from this. Please feel free to comment below and let me know. And just, you know, in the meantime, recognize and be gentle with where you're currently at. There's so much out there about you needing to fix yourself and fix your state of mind and fix your experience of life and fix your, you know, your current behavior. I'm suggesting the opposite. As you wake up to the fact that you're simply living in a world of thought that is created that you don't have to pay so much attention to. You'll spend less time looking at your thinking and worrying about your thinking and getting scared and becoming insecure, and you'll spend a lot more time simply engaged with sharing your ideas with the world and finding yourself consistent in whatever activity you're involved with, whatever business you find yourself in. So I'll be back to you soon with another Grace Note, but that's it today on consistency and high performance. Lots of love. Ciao.